Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Marquette Golden Eagles Dynasty here on NCAA Football 14. Today, our Marquette Golden Eagles are taking on number 19 Purdue as the Boilermakers have underwent extreme turnover over the past couple seasons. Now led by Doug Nussmeier, he's led them to back-to-back 8-win seasons, and they actually haven't even won games going all the way back to 2007. The Boilermakers on the come-up, as our Marquette Golden Eagles are as well. Two of the top rising programs right now in all of college football, squaring off today in Milwaukee. Marquette brings in 10 recruits in attendance today, a lot on the offensive side of the ball, so it's going to be pivotal that we get the passing game going throughout, and hopefully our running game can deliver down the stretch and give us a win. Assuming we have the lead, we're here at the BMO Bradley Center, number 19 against number 24, and our Golden Eagles come off a very tough loss last time out against number 6 Miami, who have now jumped into the top 5. Purdue loses the coin toss, as we are going to defer, and we'll put the ball in the hands of the Purdue offense, which features Jesse Hicks, a 97 overall quarterback, perhaps the best pure passer in the nation. Hunter Kraft on for the kickoff as we're now underway from the BMO Bradley Center, although it probably will start with a touchback, as it does. Purdue will start at the 25, and here's Jesse Hicks, a senior quarterback last week, over 350 and 3 touchdown passes. Going to be a handful here today on the season so far. Through 3 games, Hicks just under 1,000 yards with 8 touchdown passes already. They have Rivers out there wide with the star, a freshman receiver, already an impact player through just 3 games, and that's Danny Baker. A good run with the middle, 16 right out of the gate. Purdue a big play to start as they're now across the 40. Hicks back to pass. They had 2 options on the check down, and that's Derek Rivers, the aforementioned freshman, already 5 touchdown catches in his first 3 collegiate games. 2nd and 4 now from the 46. Collins in motion. Hicks on the drop back. Check down there for Baker. A strong stiff arm. Get off me. As he gets ahead for 11. Also, it's certainly worth noting that Marquette is without starting strong safety Mark Henry in this one. Standout senior who's probably been our most consistent, most reliable defender over the past 2 seasons. There's the freshman Rivers as he gets 18. Next week we'll travel to Norman, Oklahoma for a matchup with the Sooners. This time we'll swing it out for McKinney, and he's going to be forced out after 8 yards. Starting in the place of Mark Henry is Jason Taylor, known for his hit power. And that time, that's Chris Carter getting his hand in there, forcing the incompletion. 3rd down. 3rd and 2 now. Whitaker in motion as Hicks will pass. We'll swing that for Whitaker, and he's going to be swarmed by Marquette defenders. Stopped for a loss on that one. 4th down. Purdue likely going to have to kick a field goal here from the 17, as they will bring out the field goal unit. A 34-yard attempt to take the lead and get some points on their opening drive. Maybe a false start up front, and now make it a 39-yard field goal. And now we'll try it again here. Kick is up, and that's wide left. He shanks it, and we're still scoreless here in Milwaukee. Our first studio update of the day. Michigan State currently leading Northwestern. The Wildcats already a loss on the year. I think they entered as a top 10 team, but the Spartans looking to climb up the rankings with a win against the Wildcats, currently 18. Marquette takes over at the 22 for the first time today. They'll start a give for senior running back Dusty Alexander. He's hit hard there, only 2 yards up the middle. That was Marquise Cole at left guard, struggling to hold the block there, although he is known for his run blocking ability. 2nd and 8, Walker directly under center as he takes the snap. Gonna roll to the right. And we try to go for Coleman there, and good recovery from Jason Baker, the DB, getting a hand in there. I thought we had plenty of space and time to squeeze that in, but the DB closed on that very well. Now Walker out there empty. 5 receivers on the field. He takes the snap. And there's Kenneth Pope, the redshirt junior receiver, as he gets 14. Kind of slow to get going this year, although he is our wide receiver 1. And I say he's our wide receiver 1, but we really don't have one. We kind of just spread the ball around, and we evenly distribute it within our receiving core. Now 1st down, here we go with McBride. And McBride was the hero last week. Came alive in the second half, over 100 yards on just 15 carries, a couple scores. Although he gave up a touchdown with Miami got the ball with, 29 seconds left. They had a quick strike in the passing game, and set him up for a potential game-winning field goal as they won 26-24 in what I think is probably the most fun game of the series so far, or definitely up there. Now 2nd and 6, Walker takes the snap. Just go underneath there for Mason, get him involved a little bit, and that's only going to go for 2 or 3. Now 3rd and short. 3rd and 4 now from the 45. We will go to the running game. I saw Cole missed a block, but Alexander able to get away from that defender one-on-one, and he got ahead for the first. Now Marquette at midfield. Walker out there empty, takes the snap. Gonna roll to the right. I don't see anything, just gonna try and get it up the sidelines. We'll take 6 yards. As I mentioned, Marquette does have 10 recruits in attendance today, including LaRue Hart, quarterback, who's currently favoring Minnesota, but hopefully we can put on a good show for him and sway him to come to Milwaukee. And now a quick angle there for McBride as he makes the grab, gets 7. Marquette now at the 37, putting together a pretty good drive here on the opening drive. We'll get Coleman over the middle as Purdue sent pressure, and he hangs on in tight coverage. Coleman is the only receiver we'll lose next year in the receiving corps, so it's going to be a better unit in year 7. And now Alexander a give as he couldn't really get going. Hit hard there in the backfield. 3rd and 4. Marquette now at the 31. 3rd down. Walker takes the snap, and we'll just try and run for it. Instead, we go for Watkins on the run, and he hauls that in inside the red zone, 11 yards. Greg Walker entered this game completing over 75% of his passes as he starts 5 for 6 in this one. We'll go counter here for McBride, and a good run as he gets 5. Now Alexander into the backfield, 2 minutes left here in the first. Purdue a light box there, as we'll take advantage and get 4 or 5, now 3rd and inches. We can now come out in the I formation. Josh Terry leading the charge. As we go to McBride, he gets the job done up the middle. And now a fresh set, 1st and goal. 1st and goal, McBride the lone back, now at the 8-yard line. Walker takes the snap. We go for Pope. I don't really know what we were doing there. Although, nothing doing, 2nd and goal. It's like nothing ever happened. Yeah, that was a weird pass. We'll just forget about that one. Now 2nd and goal. Walker again takes the snap. Purdue sends pressure. Trying to get Terry there. And he misread that. And that just hits him in the stomach. Falls for an incompletion. 3rd and goal. Certainly don't want this drive to stall out. Walker from the shotgun takes the snap. Go slant over the middle for Washington. He hangs on through contact. And that'll set up a 4th and goal from the 2. And I think we just go for it in this spot. Although I think we can let the clock run down. That way our offensive line's a little more fresh when we come out to start the 2nd quarter. And actually, yeah, I think that's what we are going to do. I kind of like how this looks, though. Especially if we go to an inside run instead. So actually, we might just pull the trigger. And what kind of play was that? Thomas Walker at right guard could not hold that block. McBride stopped as we turn it over. Maybe should have waited, but hindsight is 20/20. No scoring here after 1 quarter. Purdue missed a field goal. We just turned it over on downs as we'll start the 2nd from the 2-yard line. Or I'm sorry, the 4-yard line. A very good defensive stand there from the Boilermakers. And that, I think that was a linebacker getting in there to make the play. He just whipped around the right guard and made the tackle for loss. Now Jesse Hicks and Purdue start at the 4-yard line as they will go with the pass here. Check down there for Pittman, filling in at tight end. They have a 84 overall Charlie Curry at tight end, and he's hurt for, I think, another 8 weeks. So a freshman fullback is filling in, and I think he's quite a downgrade. So hopefully a spot we could take advantage, although that was actually a crucial play, giving them some breathing room as they're now at the 15, 16-yard line. Hicks from the shotgun. Rivers in motion. And Hicks going to be brought down. That's Jake Witherspoon, his 4th sack of the year, leading our team. And that's quite the surprise. We have Antonio Carr at left end, the All-American. Good hand usage there as he finished. But Antonio Carr at left end has been very silent this year. Led our team with 10 sacks last season, but only 1 so far as we're now in game number 5. Really would like to see Antonio Carr get going a little bit. Purdue now backed up. Hicks out there empty. Go towards the sideline. And Mike Carroll, they made a good play on the ball. Poor decision there from Hicks. Now 3rd and very, very long. Forcing a punt in this vicinity of the field would be pretty good for the field position battle, as Purdue had it there. I think that was Goins, and he just dropped it. Kind of ran into his own man. And now they're going to be forced to punt here from the 7. Good field position swing. That's kind of why in those spots when I'm at, the goal line on 4th down, don't really mind rolling the dice. Usually it does work out, but it obviously didn't that time. We will take over with good field position. A very good punt. That'll drive us all the way back to our own 40. Williamson, a good return here, working towards the sideline. As a good stick there, he brings that 20 yards to the 37. Marquette offense back out there very quickly after that 4th down turnover. Walker keeps on the read option, 4 yards, 2nd and 6. Marquette at the 35. We go back to the run here. Alexander and Marquise Cole again couldn't hold the block there, although Alexander still gets 4 or 5, 3rd and 1. 3rd and short, come out in the I formation. We'll give it to McBride. Good blocking out there in space from Jack Mason. McBride gets 6 yards. Walker out there in the shotgun. Craig Jones checks in for the first time. Do a quick one there for Coleman. He makes the grab, gets another 7. 2nd and 3 now inside the red zone. Walker takes the snap. Go for Washington. And that goes through the hands. We misread the route a little bit, but still almost worked out. Although it does fall incomplete now 3rd and 3. Purdue goes with a light box here, as we'll give to Alexander. Good blocking there, as Alexander's going to maneuver into the end zone for the touchdown, his 3rd of the year for our all-time leading rusher. Good blocking developed there, good vision from Alexander to finish, as we get the first score of the game. Marquise Cole there, a good pancake in the 2nd level. Mason able to, set the pick there, and they both get assists on that one. Hunter Kraft on for the extra point. That's up and good. And it's now 7-0 Marquette, 5:24 remaining in the half. And now Rivers on for the return, the freshman phenom. And Mike Carroll, a good tackle there, one-on-one. And that return certainly was not worth it, at least for Purdue, as they're going to start now at the 18. And Rivers, an 80 overall freshman, so he was one of the top wide receiver recruits in the nation last year. And he's really buying into what Doug Nussmeier is building. Hicks back with it, going to go towards the other sideline. And that's Aaron Clark, another dropped interception for this defense. And make it like 8 or 9 now on the season. Aaron Clark returned last week after missing the previous 2 games, the senior corner, part of our year 2 recruiting class. Now they go back to the run here. Baker, good block outside there. Omar Wilson, a poor angle. And then Chris Carter and Bobby Price getting over. Another 15 yards for Baker. He's had 2 very good runs, although they haven't really been using him. First down, Purdue now at the 33. And they go right back to the run. Baker, good hold develops, but Omar Wilson there in the lane. But still another double-digit carry from Baker. And he's now over 40 yards in just 3 carries. 1st and 10, Hicks from the shotgun. And they'll give it right back to Baker. That's 3 carries in a row. And there's Antonio Carr. He heard us talking about him as he makes it a big play there against the run. 2nd and 13 now. Purdue backed up a little bit. They go back to Baker, really feeding him on this drive as Wilson runs into the pile. Definitely should have made the tackle there, and Aaron Clark gets over to make this stop. Although it looks like there's a flag. It's going to be a hold. It's going to be a clip. So the Boilermakers, a big play there on 2nd and 13. It's going to be wiped out by C.J. Reed, the right guard. And that's a huge swing now. 2nd and 27 at their own 27 rather than first down at the 17. I gotta say, Marquette has been very disciplined in recent games. 2nd and 27 now, Hicks to pass. Over the middle there for Collins, a short one, only 3 yards. And now 3rd and very, very long again for Purdue. We go cover 3 at a dime. Purdue 0 for 2 on 3rd downs, and that's going to happen when you're facing 3rd and 18s, 3rd and 24s. Hicks to pass. Has a man there towards the sideline, and Clark there to bring down Collins, 17 yards, but still 4th and 7. The Purdue punter back out there, the 2nd highest player on this team. They're going to go fake. And they might get it. They do not. Derek Perkins there. The vertical showing as he knocks that down. And as I was saying, Purdue, their punter like a 94 overall. They try some trickeration, but it does not work out. And now very good field position for Marquette as we'll take over at the 47 of Purdue. I love when the computer's aggressive like that. We've seen that now, I think, 2 or 3 times already on the season. Walker out there empty to start this one. We'll go Terry there on the in and out. And Terry, a strong finish, going to get that ahead for 10 yards. We need to start racking up some more passing yards. We have LaRue Hart, one of the top quarterbacks in the nation in attendance, along with a couple linemen. And Tim Smith, one of the top receivers in the state of Wisconsin. Walker takes the snap. Roll to the right. We'll try and get Terry, but we're hit as we threw, and that's going to be incomplete. Jordan Gonzalez on the pressure. McBride now back out there. 2 tight ends for Marquette, as McBride will get the forward progress. First down. Marquette at the 36 now. They'll get back to Alexander, fresh off a touchdown run. His last carry. This time he gets 4. 2nd and 6 from the 33 as we hit the 2-minute mark in the half. Walker takes the snap. Roll right. Just going to keep this one and get the first down. A hard hit, though, out of bounds. But he is getting back up. First down, Marquette. Came out in the flex bone in that last formation now here in the pistol full house. And we'll go back to Alexander. And a good play there against the run. He's brought down -2. Walker out there empty now. 4 receivers for the Golden Eagles. Try to go over the middle for Terry, and he makes the grab there. 7 yards, 3rd and 5. Marquette, an astounding 7 for 8 in this game on 3rd down. Walker takes the snap here. We go Kenneth Pope over the middle. One-handed grab away from his body, but we're still short. 4th and 1. I was going to just, let the clock trickle down here, but I like what we see. So we're going to go McBride as he gets the job done. We'll call a timeout. 31 seconds left as we convert on 4th and short. 31 seconds left from the 14, and I really wouldn't have minded just going for the field goal there, making it a 2-possession game going into halftime, but if we could pour on a little more, we certainly want to at least try. And now Walker takes the snap. We have McBride on the angle as he makes the catch all the way down to the 1, and he's going to be pushed into the end zone. I'm not sure how that happened, but we will take it. 14 yards to McBride as, like I said, pushed into the end zone, just riding that wave, and Greg Walker gets on the board with a touchdown pass. 24 seconds remaining here, and that's McBride and Alexander now, each scoring touchdowns. Our 2 impact players on offense. For one of the rare times throughout this series, our quarterback does not have the star. So we burned 3 minutes there, and we just leave 24 seconds here for Purdue as we lead 14-0. And now Purdue going to get a chance to return here from the 3-yard line. Good blocking there on the kickoff, although it might be coming back to another clip. And I forgot to mention, Purdue actually beat us really bad, I think year 2 or year 3. They beat us 31-10, so we're looking for some revenge in this one. We go running game here for Baker, and that's Chris Carter getting in the lane, making the stop. And it looks like Purdue will just run this into halftime. Thought they might try and go for it here with Jesse Hicks. You can get a couple quick hits, but playing it rather conservative, as I believe we are set to get the ball as well. So that'll do it here in the first half. 14-0 Marquette, playing some good football. Our defense is holding strong, and our offense starting to find their mojo. Hopefully it's a game we can kind of pull away here in the second half and make a statement, especially with a plethora of recruits in attendance. I mentioned, I think, LaRue Hart, a quarterback, Tim Smith at receiver, Josh Madsen, one of the best running backs in the state, in the country, the 11th ranked running back. We have the number 3 free safety, Terry O'Donnell, who right now is favoring Northern Illinois, but hopefully a good performance in this game. We can sway him to come to Milwaukee along with the other recruits in attendance. So that's it here in the first half. Marquette playing very good football, leading 14-0. Marquette will start with the ball here in the second half, trying to add on and make it a 3-possession game. Walker takes a snap. We'll go over the middle there for Pope. I think his 3rd grab of the day, that time 10 yards. Walker now at 99 yards. We need another 151 to hit that recruit visit goal. McBride a 2-yard carry. We get the first down. First down now at the 37. Walker in the shotgun with Jones behind him in the backfield. Walker takes the snap. Go over the middle there for Pope, and he hangs on for that one as he works towards the 35 of Purdue. 26 yards, and we need big hits like that. We're Walker now at 125. We're halfway to the 250 milestone here. Again, Walker takes the snap. We have a man open there at the sideline. Again, that's Pope, his 6th catch of the day. Another 8 there for the redshirt junior. 2nd and 2, we'll go to number 2 here. As McBride does get the handoff, going to work it outside, cuts back up the middle, or towards the middle as he gets a first down, a good run there. First down, Marquette driving here. Go over the middle for Watkins, and he hauls that in for the touchdown. Craig Watkins, his first touchdown of the year for the junior tight end. Came in the same class as Jack Mason, but Mason just kind of a more well-rounded player. But Watkins, a good receiver in his own right, and he's kind of improved his blocking game as we've gone along. A quick drive here to start the second half as Marquette continues to pour it on. Exactly what you wanted to see here today against a ranked team with recruits in attendance following a loss last time out. The Purdue offense will start at the 25 following a touchback. And since their opening drive where they missed that field goal, they really haven't mustered up any offense. I guess Baker has got going, and there's Omar Wilson, a good tackle. I thought he was going to over-pursue that angle, but makes the one-on-one tackle. Danny Baker continues to run the rock very well so far. 2nd and 3. Hicks from the shotgun takes the snap. And he's going to dump that off for Pittman. Good patience there in the pocket. Good pass protection. We had some good coverage with Ryan Weber there over the middle, but Hicks using the veteran savvy to find his man. We'll stay in the 3-4 here. He's going to mix it up a little bit here today, more so than usual. Got the cat blitz coming from the left side. They give it to Baker as he goes to the near side. Counters that blitz very well. 7 yards, 2nd and 3. And I was thinking about maybe saving a recruiting update just in its own episode next time out, but I think I will squeeze it in here with the quick pace we've had in this game. Hicks towards the sideline, and Aaron Clark, that was maybe a pick six going the other way, and he drops that. What is going on? We cannot intercept passes. Only one interception entering this game, and I think we might just stay there for the rest of the year with the way it's been going. We should have at least like 2 or 3, even more than that though. 3rd and 3 now. Pittman in motion, goes into the backfield as an extra blocker there as they hand to Baker, and he gets ahead for the first down just barely. Now 5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. We go back to Baker, breaks a car tackle, and then Chris Carter there to finish him off. A loss there, 2nd and 11 now. Hicks now directly under center. McGee checks into the game at running back. Whitaker into the backfield. And a good tackle there from Robert Williamson coming out of frame. A strong stop, just 1 yard now, 3rd and 10. We're going to do cover 2 sink in this dime package. See if Hicks, hopefully Hicks, can't find the soft spot. There's a man there towards the sideline. And that's Aaron Clark getting beat down the sideline there. Robbie Collins, his 3rd grab of the day. That one for 33. And what a nice pass there from Jesse Hicks. Hicks, conversations, he's the top draft eligible quarterback. And like I said in previous episodes, one day we will import these draft classes to Madden 25 here on the Xbox 360. And we'll see how these draft classes go. I probably won't do that until we start getting some draft picks of our own, just to see what teams they get selected to. Now Hicks a drop back over the middle there for Rivers. And a good catch there on the slant. 8 yards, 2nd and 2. Now 2nd and 2 from the 11 for Purdue, trying to get their first points of the day. And Hicks is just going to throw that one away. 3rd and short here. Purdue looking to convert. We'll go to Baker. Omar Wilson able to force him out, but not before Baker gets the first down. But you still like that effort from Wilson coming downhill and making the stop. 1st and goal for Purdue from the 7. And it's picked off by Chris Carter, the 2nd-team All-American middle linebacker from last year. Only our 2nd interception of the season, each of which have been from a linebacker. Good read there from Carter, kind of baiting Hicks there on the check down as he gets ahead of Rivers there and secures the interception. That'll help the turnover differential. Now with that, I think we're even so far on the year. Marquette from their own 7. We'll go with Alexander, and he's stopped there in the lane, no gain. Brutal turnover there for the Boilermakers, as they still not on the scoreboard. We'll just dump that off for Craig Watkins. Pushes a man off, and he fights ahead towards the first down marker. 9 yards, now 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 now, Marquette at their own 16. We'll go McBride this time. Breaks a tackle, squeezes through the lane, gets 7 in the 1st. Now 2 minutes left here in the 3rd. Walker on the drop back. Gonna roll right, nothing open. We'll just keep up the sideline. We're forced out another 7 for the senior quarterback. And I know I previously mentioned that this might be the last season of this dynasty, but that is not the case. We're gonna go on. We're gonna do this as long as possible. I've played a little bit of college football 25, but I gotta say I definitely prefer playing NCAA football 14. So this dynasty will not end anytime soon. Now Walker on the drop back, nothing open as he's gonna rush right up the sideline as he goes out there at the 49, another 18 yards, and we're really taking advantage now. I'm sure at some point I will start a dynasty on college football 25, but for now, I think I'm very satisfied playing this one. We're going to audible there to an inside run for Craig Jones, give him his first carry of the day. As he'll get that one. Spins up the middle, and he gets a good 7 yards. If we go down and score here, I think next time out we'll put some new faces in on the offense. 2nd and 3 here. Walker takes the snap. Check that down for Josh Terry. And he makes the grab, gets 7. And our leading receiver entering this game was actually Jack Mason, our tight end. I don't think he has a catch here today, though. First down, Walker from the shotgun takes the snap. Dumped that off for McBride as he leaked out of the backfield, but couldn't get going upfield. Now that'll be a 4-yard loss. But with that, that will take us into the 4th quarter. A flawless game so far for Marquette, leading 21-0. Our defense finally forced a turnover. Our offense is clicking. And we're still like 80 yards short of our passing goal here today with our recruits in attendance. Definitely need to get that for Leroux Hart, that quarterback I mentioned, as he's really favoring the Golden Gophers, staying in-state there in Minnesota. But a good game here today from Greg Walker, I think I don't know if it'll be enough to sway him, but it'll certainly give us a little more ground in that recruiting battle. Now 2nd and 14 here to start as Walker takes the snap. Let's get Coleman there towards the sideline as he's rocked there on the pass. We get that 4-back that we lost, and now it's 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10 now. Walker takes the snap here. Swing that out for Albert Brown, the freshman who we put at fullback, breaks a tackle. And Albert Brown, I think maybe his first college touch, as he breaks a couple tackles. A physical run there off the catch, gets 12 yards. Albert Brown will be the player that we put at fullback once Josh Terry graduates after this season. Now, Jason Smith from the Wildcat, the freshman quarterback, as he gets rocked only 2 yards. 2nd and 8 now. Walker back in the game at their empty as he takes the snap. Over the middle for Coleman. That throw way offline, and Stephen Wright drops the interception. 3rd and 8 now. Again, Walker will pass. We'll find Jack Mason there, but a good play there. I thought the DB there, the linebacker, was veering towards the sideline, but a quick adjustment there. Got a hand in for the incompletion. Now to be a 41-yard field goal attempt for Hunter Kraft, the freshman kicker. This one up, and that is good. That is now 24-0 Marquette. Still a 3-possession game, though. Another studio update as Boise State currently trailing Virginia Tech 31-27. The Broncos number 11 in the nation at 3-0. Now we'll see how Jesse Hicks and the offense responds after that interception inside Marquette's 5-yard line. Tough break there. Hicks to pass. Over the middle, we kind of pulled away from it there with Carter, but still a Collins drop. And now 2nd down. 2nd down, Hicks from the shotgun takes the snap. And Jason Taylor making his first career start. A good read there, although he couldn't haul in the interception. 3rd and 10. We've had so many pass breakups this year, probably the most already through 5 games that we've had in any single season. Hicks to pass. A check down there for Baker. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another tackle. Still going now up the sideline as he's probably forced out from Bobby Price. And a good second effort there by Baker to keep the play going and getting the 1st down. 1st down now, fresh life for Purdue. And they'll go for Pittman there. Price was in position, but couldn't make a play on the ball. Brandon Pittman, a 10-yard gain, 2nd and inches. Purdue now across the 50 as they'll swing that out for Pittman. Another catch for the fullback starting at tight end. And I don't know why he's beating us so bad right now. We'll come out in the 4-2-5 now. Zone blitz. Hicks from the shotgun, Baker to his left. Baker's in pass protection. We get the sack there on the blitz from Mike Carroll. Although we can't pick up the fumble. 2nd and 16 though. Carroll splits the blocks there. One of them the running back there in pass protection, but Baker did not recognize that one. Hicks fumbled, but Purdue able to jump on the ball. 2nd and 16 now. Purdue backed up a little bit. Hicks pass has some time. And Collins goes up and getting that one. And Clark, a poor play there. We tried to jump up for it. And you know how that goes sometimes. The Y button doesn't respond in those spots sometimes for whatever reason. And Robbie Collins, a good catch there, going up and getting. And Clark just could not make the tackle after that play. They are going to go for it now. They need 3 touchdowns and 2-point conversions. And 3 2-point conversions. They've gotten a touchdown so far. And now they need the two-pointer here. Hicks to pass. Over the middle for Johnson. And he's... Oh, I thought he was kept out, but they will say he crossed the plane. That was a late response there on the scoreboard. I thought Wilson was able to bring him down before that. But I suppose not. 5:03 left. Purdue finally on the board. And that was a bad play there from Clark in coverage. So after that turnover on downs, Marquette has responded with 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Our offense will not be denied here today. Walker gets Washington there. A good play there from 48 on Purdue, crashing down but just a step late as Washington hauls that in for the first. Walker now 56 passing yards short of our goal here. It might come down to the wire. We'll go here, Alexander on the counter. Really nothing doing there, gets 1. 4:20 now left in the game. 2nd and 9, we'll go back to the run here, and a good read there from the linebacker. Again, Alexander really stopped for nothing. Now more than halfway through this 4th quarter, Walker out there empty, takes the snap. Go over the middle, but we're hit as we threw. And a big defensive play there from Purdue. 4th and 9, we're going to have to punt for the first time. Junior punter Castillo on for his first action of the day. Trying to get this towards the sideline, limit a return here. And that's not really going to go to plan. Going to be fielded there at the 22 by Walker. And Walker, a hard hit there from James Johnson, a special teams linebacker now in his junior season. A good return though, 14 yards to the 38. 3:42 left here for Purdue. Still not done, especially if you can get a touchdown on this one. Takes a delay give for Baker, and a strong play there from Carr coming off the edge. His 2nd tackle for loss, 2nd and 13. After Baker's first 3 or 4 runs, really nothing going for him. After that, there's Pittman in motion, their secret weapon. As they'll give back to Baker, and he makes a big play there in space. And Jason Taylor able to rip him down. He heard us talking about him, saying he hasn't really done much, and there he busts one big down to the 31. This Marquette defense kind of showing some liabilities here as we go on. Purdue not giving up. McKinney in motion. Hicks takes the snap. Underneath there for Collins, and a big hit from Bobby Price. As we hit the 3-minute mark of this 4th quarter, now less than 3 minutes. 2nd and 4 for Purdue. Got to show some urgency here. Don't have all the time in the world. Especially with the Marquette offense that can drain the rest of this clock. Pittman in motion. Hicks takes the snap. Has a man there at the sideline. It's McKinney, a good route. And Perkins was nowhere near him. We're going to dial up the blitz here. Corner crash. Go aggressive here inside the 10. Hicks, a pass over the middle. I thought Bobby Price was going to be able to crash down there. We had some good pressure as he had to get that off for Pittman. The clock will continue to run now. 2nd and goal at the 2. See what they decide to do here. And it's going to be a false start, and they'll go back 5 more. 2:08 now remaining. Hicks and Baker in the backfield. Whitaker in motion. And they're going to go with the run here for Baker. Carroll couldn't bring him down, but then Edwards and Williamson get there. And now 3rd and goal. As we hit less than 2 minutes remaining in this game. I thought they might be hurrying it up at this point, but they'll just stay with the slow and steady approach. Or I guess they will hurry it up. That was a weird transition. And it's actually not even letting me move here on defense. Wilson, I'm trying to pick a different defender here, but it's not letting me. It won't even let me look at the play. And Wilson, it's letting me move a little bit. That was a weird one as Hicks just throws it away as it's now 4th and goal. So this really is the game you would think here if Purdue can't convert. And now it seems to be fine. The check down there for McGee. I was going to say McBride. And he gets the end zone. I just recognized him there on the check down a step late. And they convert. So this game getting interesting now as they have to go for another 2-point conversion. If you can't hit here, that might be the game as well. And a false start again. And these Purdue penalties are killer for them so far. And now 1:33 remaining. Come out with 4 receivers this time. Has a man there in that corner of the end zone. That's Robbie Collins. His big day continues. A huge catch there in the back corner. He's over 100 receiving yards on the day with a touchdown that we saw earlier. And Purdue, some great resiliency here. And they're going to bring out the onside kick. We do not need a replication of the Memphis Miracle in Milwaukee, as we do haul that one in. McBride going to try and reverse field, but nothing doing. 1:31 remaining. Our first down wins the game. And at this point, it does not look like we're going to hit our passing goal in this game. Craig Jones, opening give of this drive, he's taken down for a loss. Purdue takes a timeout. Now 1:29 remaining. Walker in the shotgun. He takes the snap. They're going to throw it here. Man, over the middle, and we're hit as we threw, and that will stop the clock. This Marquette offense has really struggled to get going here in the later stages. They're going to throw again here. Go for Mason, and he makes the grab for the first down as Purdue burns another timeout. A big play there, and that will all but do it here in Milwaukee. 1:20 remaining, only one timeout left for the Boilermakers. As we'll give to Alexander, and he gets ahead for 6 yards. 2nd and 4, as they do go back to the run. Alexander, another first down. And I think that'll all but do it. We could start taking some knees and get out of here with a victory. But instead, we'll go for another run here. Give it to McBride this time, as he really can't get anything going, only 2 yards. And now I think it's time for a knee. So Marquette comes out in the victory formation as Walker takes the knee. And we're going to take the win here in Milwaukee. 24-16. I thought it was going to be a little more handily than that. I thought we were going to be able to pull away big time in this one after that 21-0 start. But instead, we were held to just a field goal in the second half as Purdue struck for 2 touchdowns, 2 extra point conversions, and they added a lot of drama there in the later stages. Was very nervous, but luckily we were able to connect there with Jack Mason on that first down conversion. Otherwise, we were going to have to punt, and Purdue would have had a chance for the game-tying drive. That would have been a big collapse on our part, but like I said, we were able to hold on. Started off very, very well in this game, but Purdue made a lot of good second half adjustments. As Doug Nussmeier, as we mentioned, one of the up-and-coming coaches here in college football, maybe in line for a better gig if Purdue can replicate another 8-win season or more. So that'll do it here from the BMO Bradley Center. I'll see you back at recruiting headquarters for some recruiting news, and hopefully we get our first commits of the season. Now we're here at the recruiting board following that impressive victory over Purdue, although it did get a little too close for comfort down the stretch. But John Coleman still undecided. We're still battling with Wisconsin. 6'4", 234 out of Appleton, Wisconsin. And we actually got 5 commits following that Purdue game. And one of his teammates there from Appleton, the top running back in the state of Wisconsin, committed. So maybe that'll sway Coleman a little bit as well in wanting to come to Milwaukee. Looks to be an elite receiver with elite size, but we're really hoping he can be a tight end. But even then, he's 95% locked, and we don't visit with him until we have Oklahoma next episode, and then the next week we will visit with him, and hopefully he doesn't fully commit to Wisconsin. I'm not sure how that's going to go. He doesn't visit with them until very late, so I'm wondering if he'll commit before then. Adrian Holmes, our top offensive line option on the board. I think he visits in Week 11, sandwiched there against Miami of Ohio and Central Michigan. 3 of his final 3 at this point. We did gain 5, so it's nice to see we're climbing a little bit as Miami of Ohio is slipping. And we do have that visit scheduled in between them, so we'll see how that turns out. But Adrian Holmes, looking at his scouting, 97 acceleration with 84 strength, 77 run block, and the speed, pass block, and impact all at C. So I think he's going to end up being a very good offensive tackle out of Waterford, Michigan. Jake Allen, he's very close to committing. He visited with us back a few weeks ago in Week 4, and he's very close to cutting off Ball State. And it looks like we're going to be in on the number 4 outside linebacker in the nation. And he has great size there at 6'2", 257, and a very well-rounded player. LaRue Hart, who we mentioned, we actually do lead for him now following that visit. We got plus 77 from the visit, plus 995 overall. But, Minnesota, they visit with him in Week 9, and they've been the favorite this whole time. So I'm not expecting too much here from LaRue Hart, but it would be very nice if we can get the 16th ranked quarterback in the class. And he has very good rushing attributes. The break tackle at 78, spin at 86, and elusive juke at B with 86 throw power, B accuracy, 91 agility, 86 acceleration with B speed. So LaRue Hart would be a dynamic quarterback option, and we hope to bring him in, but it's an uphill battle, it looks like. Then John Richardson, we're kind of slipping for against Kansas State. We lost 185. We visit with him in week 11, but he visits with Kansas State before that, so he might even commit to the Wildcats before we could even bring him in for a visit. One of our only out of region targets right now, out of Martinez, California. He was interested in the preseason. Terry O'Donnell, we just had him in for a visit. We got plus 920 from his visit. We're battling for these next 3 players. So Terry O'Donnell here, a 4-star free safety. Al Bush, a 3-star D-end. And Jameel Smith, a 2-star tackle. But he actually went up a bunch after scouting. Halfway scouted, he went up plus 9. We're battling Northern Illinois for all 3 of these players. And we brought all 3 in on their visit this past week. And we've now leapfrogged Northern Illinois. But each of these 3 guys visits with the Huskies in week 8. So we'll see how that goes. I would expect Bush and Smith to flip back to NIU, but we actually have a pretty nice lead here for O'Donnell. But none of these guys are really close to committing, so all 3 of these guys maybe go into the offseason. Brent Stokes, we need to bring in 2 Iowa players. We got 1 committed this week, and Stokes we hope can be the other. Probably a corner or a safety. Pulling away here from Iowa State. We bring him in week 8. And hopefully, now we're pouring max points into him. Before that, maybe just like 250 a week. So with that boost, maybe we can get him committed after his visit. Marco Lynch, our backup plan here at quarterback if we miss out on LaRue Hart. We bring him in week 8, already 72% locked. We haven't offered him a scholarship quite yet, just because, if we get Hart, we're not going to really need Lynch. But I think realistically, Lynch is probably the quarterback we bring in this class. And Greg Morris, one of 2 offensive linemen we want to bring in. We're kind of assuming we miss out on Smith here. I think NIU is making a very strong push for him. And Holmes definitely is not a sure thing as well. So we want to bring in 2 linemen. And our top 2 guys are definitely not sure things. But I think Morris, as now we're starting to pour more points into him, he might commit going into his visit or after his visit. And now Brian Wilkinson, I just added him to the board as a midseason addition. A very low lock percentage at just 19%. Scouted him halfway. 83 man, 80 zone, B press, 82 agility with B speed and acceleration. Went up plus 4 after scouting. 83 play rec. So he looks to be a very, very good player. And we're going to offer him a scholarship probably in the next week. Now that we added him for another week to our board, I think we'll see more of a jump. Although it looks like Western Michigan down there, the first team to offer him, the in-state team, as he's out of Plymouth, Michigan. But we want another DB in this class. I think we just missed out on one. I know we actually signed one, and we need to probably bring in one more corner or safety, but I'm really not banking on O'Donnell, so hence the addition of Wilkinson, and hopefully Stokes and Wilkinson we can bring in. Now just moving down the border here. Matt Harvey is 73 overall linebacker. We just brought him in for a visit, and it looks like we could easily get him, but I don't really think we need an extra linebacker, especially a JUCO guy. And these are a few more late additions to the board who we haven't yet scouted. But we got 5 commits, our first 5 of the year 6 season. We will take these guys off. Jeff Dixon to Central Michigan. Jeff Stanley to, I think that was Illinois. Thomas Andrews, one of 2 Iowa guys on our board that we need to bring in. So we're halfway to our goal. 6'1", 248, the 37th ranked middle linebacker in the nation. And we did scout him halfway already with 65 zone, 66 finesse, 66 block shed, and the hit power in pursuit at 67 with 80 strength, B speed, and B agility. So go ahead and scout him further as he goes back up to his base of 66. But look at that speed at 88 with 83 acceleration, 67 pursuit and hit power, as we said, and decent block shedding and coverage traits to kind of build off of as he goes forward. But a dynamic athlete, and we really need that in our linebacking core. So Thomas Andrews looks to be a very good player coming in at a 66 overall. And now Stephen Curry, we needed to get a tight end. And while we are hoping our guy at the top there, what was his name? John Coleman, we're hoping he can be a tight end, but definitely not a sure thing. So Stephen Curry, just some insurance. And looks like he's going to be a very good player. 6'6", 229, a receiving tight end at 76 catching, 77 route, 71 spec with C catch and traffic, a 68 release. Not really a good blocker, but I mean, I think it's harder to find receiving tight end, so kind of prioritized him, and we'll go ahead and scout him further as he goes down 4. So he was a 68, now a 64, down from his base, but we like the 80 speed with 91 acceleration. Very good pass catching traits, but a liability as a blocker, so maybe a tight end too, unless he can develop a little better as a blocker. Brian Beck, 5'11", 188 out of Noblesville, Indiana, the 31st ranked corner he was kind of easy to get. Right now, 85 agility, 87 acceleration with B speed, 73 man, B press, and we'll go ahead and scout him further. So he drops down to a 65, one off of his original rating, 75 press down, but 73 man in zone is good for a freshman, 90 speed, and it looks to be a pretty good corner. So I'm happy with all three of these players so far, even though the last two have dropped a little bit. Now, Josh Madsen, the 67th ranked player on the national board, the highest player we've ever brought into the program, and we beat out Wisconsin for him and Tim Smith, the top wide receiver and running back in the state. And Madsen out of Appleton, Wisconsin, like the top player on our board. So like we said, hopefully Madsen can sway his high school teammate to join him in Milwaukee. Madsen right now, 80 agility with B speed acceleration, 75 juke, you like that. And he offers a little bit as a pass catcher as well. After scouting him further, he does drop down to a 70, but still a very good player. And he's going to be a player we have to kind of get involved in his freshman year. 83 spin is up, 78 elusive, 75 juke, and 73 break tackle. Not going to block anybody, although the 64 impact isn't bad for a running back, but he has decent route running and catching traits. Now, Tim Smith, 6 foot, 214, another 4-star here with Madsen out of Manitowoc, Wisconsin. 40th receiver on the board. 93 speed, you love that. 86 acceleration, and 77 route running, but his hands are a liability. 62 catching with D-spec and catching traffic. Only 73 agility. We'll scout him further, and he drops one more to a 68, but still a very good player. 67 spec and catching traffic, better than his normal catching trait. 63 release, so a little raw, but a good athlete and maybe a burner at some point who can develop into a vertical threat. So that's how our recruiting class is coming along so far. We'll go over to the top classes and see how we fare right now after our first 5 commits. And it actually has us at number 7. We have 2 4-stars, 3 3-stars, Madsen, Smith, Curry, Beck, and Andrews to kick off this year's class. Next week we're playing number 5, Oklahoma, and Kirk is going with the Sooners. They're a +4 right now in the turnover differential for 15th in the nation. Their pass offense, number 3, averaging 335 per game. The defense, though, one of the worst in the nation at 126, allowing over 500 yards of total offense. But their points per game, number 1 in the nation. We'll just call it 50 points per game. A+ overall at A+ offense and an A- defense. Looks like Hayden, who I think is their top receiver, out 2 weeks. Their schedule so far, they lost to number 4 LSU in week 1, 50-34. The Tigers now 5-0, number 4 in the nation. And then they dropped 70 on Iowa State, who we play after Oklahoma. And they come off a big win in the Red River rivalry, 45-32 over Texas. We have a point on our coaching tree here for our offensive coordinator, Bobby Goss. And I didn't want to put this to blocking. I think we'll just go pass block, give us a little more protection there for Greg Walker. Matt Campbell, our defensive coordinator, his second season after being fired as the Toledo head coach. Lance Leipold now up to a level 19, so we're up to a level 10 in recruiting. And now next time we get a bonus, probably after our next game, we'll have to put that into game management. I guess probably into the antifreeze just to open up that next tier. Now we're here at the top 25, and it had extreme shakeup this past week. Georgia Tech now up to number 1, 5-0 after they defeat Clemson, who was a top 5 team, I think, or maybe number 6. They beat them 45-7, absolutely dominating them. North Carolina 5-0, a big win against Wake Forest, and Miami at 5-0 as well. We obviously lost to them in the last episode. They're now up to number 3, and they face number 9 Florida State this week in a big rivalry game with huge implications in the national championship at this stage in the season. LSU at number 4, 5-0, a big win over Florida. They beat Oklahoma earlier in the year, who are at number 5. We're going to face the Sooners this week, a 6-star program, 97 overall with a 99 offense. Michigan, Ohio State, Navy, Florida State, USC. USC was number 2 after a loss to Oregon State. They fall to number 10. Clemson 3-2. We'll see them the last game of the season. Nebraska, Northwestern loses to Michigan State, and Northwestern has one more loss than Michigan State, and they lost head-to-head, but still the Spartans 1 spot behind the Wildcats. Texas A&M at 15. Iowa undefeated at 4-0. They'll play number 7 Ohio State this week. Notre Dame 2-3. A 3-loss Notre Dame team at number 17 came off a win against New Mexico. Boise State 3-1 comes off a loss against Virginia Tech, who's now ranked at 25. South Carolina plummets, falling all the way down to 19 after they were the #1 team in the nation. They lose 45-42 against a Kentucky team who was 0-4 entering that matchup. Huge upset there in the SEC. Oregon at 20, followed by Oregon State, Arizona, Penn State, and Marquette. Despite a win against a ranked opponent, we don't rise at all or fall. We stay pat at 24, and Virginia Tech at 25 at 2-2. And now in the Heisman watch, Kevin Lumpkin came in as the preseason favorite, and he's been #1 this entire time. 32 carries against Clemson, 244 with 2 touchdowns, and a huge win, making a statement against the Tigers. Tyler Rivero, #2 here, running back from Michigan, 174 with 2 scores in his last game. Big win over Arkansas State. Robert Brown, the successor in Chapel Hill to Mitch Trubisky, 376 passing yards, 2 scores, 59 rushing yards. Scott Kaysen, after USC fell, he falls in the Heisman watch. 134 rushing yards, though, and 18 carries, 3 total touchdowns. And Mike Jackson, the top-rated quarterback at 99 overall, stays at 5 after a big win against Florida. So a very good episode overall, a nice win against a ranked Purdue team. We got 5 commits as our recruiting class kind of taking shape this year. So this is where I'm going to leave you, folks. Thank you so much for watching. A very good episode. Next time out, an extremely tough test. Maybe the toughest test we're set to face so far in this series against #5 Oklahoma, who averaged 50 points per game. Looking at our stats right now, we actually have no players with multiple touchdown catches. Hopefully we can change that next week, but it's going to be a fun one next time out. Highly encourage you to check back with this series, as like I said earlier in the episode, we're here to stay. We're going to try and hit 10 seasons, but we don't know how long that'll take. Kind of maybe going to slow down the pace a little of this series, but either way, thank you so much for watching, and as always, everybody, it's been real, and be well. I'll see you next time.